Hi, David Odell here with Odell Complete Concrete. Today we're going to be widening this existing patio, and then we're going to do a little sidewalk that wraps around the side of the house. 3-foot walkway, and then we're going to go out about 10-12 feet right here. A little more area to put a table or chair on. The way this patio is going to slope, it's going to break in two directions. Off the corner of that existing concrete, that's going to be the high point. Slopes down one side of the house. And then from there, everything else is draining in this direction here, all the way around. Lots of slope, though. We've got like 6 inches of slope and 40 feet. Maybe even 30 feet. Here's some of the previous irrigation that was out here, because this was a lawn area at one time. So we got to relocate the sprinkler system. Couple heads. So this form right here is the end of that form, is the break point. From there it breaks two directions. And at that break point's a good place for a control joint also, right in line with the corner of that patio. So you notice that string line is set to the inside edge of the 2x4, which is the concrete side, and that's the important side. So and it's also not being interfered with by the stakes at the back of 2x4, so that's where you want to keep the string clear as possible.
Alright guys, so we got a lot of this formed up already. We did a little compaction, even though this is a lot of sandy dirt, so most of it's at 100% compaction. We're just gonna flood it really heavily, get a lot of water compaction up in here. Over here though, you can see what Sam's doing. He's hitting all the loose leaves down out of this bush, so when it's concrete day, none of these leaves come falling down on us when we're trying to finish the concrete. We don't want no decomposition inside of the concrete once we start troweling over everything. It's just going to be a hassle. Then we're going to pour right up against that block wall down there. Mark hit a chalk line on it. Might be a little above, we're not really sure yet. We'll find out in a little bit once we bring this farm all the way to it. But yeah, we're almost there.
Here's the steel reinforcement we put in. It's a 3/8 diameter steel rod. Also, we doweled into the existing just to drill and drive. Drill a 3/8 inch hole and then pound them in with a sledgehammer. Nice tight fit. We're putting them about 2-foot centers both directions. And we're going to also have an angular bar off of that inside corner there, just to kind of hold it together, because that's a real obvious crack point. Also at the house as well. We're not going to use any chairs to hold this bar up or dobies. We're just going to pull it up as we pour out.
All right, so the job is all formed up. Rebar is all in. This is how it's looking. We got 2 foot on center. We dialed into the existing concrete just to keep everything locked in place. And if anything was to ever shift, they would shift together rather than separate. So it's looking before the pour. Alright guys, it is the concrete pour day. We've got a nice little ramp set up so we can make it across the other side. Once we have the concrete all poured out, we got the pump getting all set up right now. We got about 4 yards coming in. Nice little 3-foot walkway right here. Turn the corner. We're just gonna be pouring right up against this block right here. That's pretty much it for this little tiny baby pour.
We're going to be pumping this concrete in here. So we're using a 3/8 inch minus pea gravel mix. And then we'll add some fiber mesh to that when it arrives on site. We're going to do a non-slip broom finish. And then we're going to wet cut these for the control joints the day of the pour. And then also we're going to go ahead and strip it and wrap it up. We have a red chalk line on the side of the house right there, and that's what we're going off of as we rod it down. And you can see the weep screed of the house is level typically, so you can see how much slope we have from the left to the right. Quite a bit in a short distance. And the house, you can see, has just been stucco. It doesn't have the finished coat on there, but right now it has the base coat, which is a kind of ideal. That way when we're pouring concrete, we don't have to worry about putting plastic on the house or worry about splattering, because we're going to get another color coat after that one. Here's a 3-foot wide magnesium bowl float with a rocker arm on it.
Yeah, dude. I see you right away.
So as we went through here checking the slope, it looks like we found a little high spot here. We're checking with the 4-foot long Milwaukee red stick, designed for actually working wet concrete, and you can check the level at the same time. Now we have a dry line. Now we snap the joints where the locations are going to go. Then we just follow it with this 3-foot long cutter. And that cuts about 1.5 inches deep. The final joiner will only be about 3/4 to a 1/2 inch deep with a 1/2 inch radius. But that initial one, what that does is it breaks the rock deep. So even if you were to cream that crack back in, it's still going to crack right there because the rock is separated. Now we've got the fiberglass funny float going on here, basically knocking out the edger lines, joiner lines, and just kind of flattening it out. Now we got some fiberglass slider boards out there. They make metal ones as well, and then some people just use chunks of plywood and move them around. Alright, here's the 50% nylon, 50% horsehair broom. That gives it that beautiful non-slip finish. Now you can see there's some shaded areas here that we're going to have to wait on so we can get an even texture all the way through. So now it's just about timing and brooming it, everything at about the same hardness. So when you're going down on the sliders and you got leaves falling into the concrete, you got to be sure to pick those out and not trowel them in. They may look like they're under the concrete if you trowel them in, but a couple days later they're going to pop right out. and then you're gonna have an imprint of a leaf. Unless that's what you're going for, then you just throw them everywhere and then trowel them in. Then you have kind of a textured type look of leaf stamp.
All right, here's the final look. We just wrapped up everything, took out all the forms, packed up all the tools. Final look at the concrete. Pretty much have a crown right around here. One will go that way, one will go this way. This half will go towards the driveway. The other half will be sloping that way. I had to put a little crown on this because the existing area, this is sloping that way. And we are on a sloping hill, which is going this way. So that's why that crown is right there.
So here it is. All the forms are out. Everything's all broomed out nice and evenly all the way through. We got some control joints off the corner. In approximately 30 to 60 days, it should all be cured out at one color. Anyway, thank you for watching the video. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Have a good one. Bye.
This is how you do it like a pro, Omar. Ah, dude, these bugs keep flying in my ears. Are you getting that too?